Welcome back to Inner Journey Oracle. Today I have this, I'm going to call it a spiritual download. And I'm going to call this, I had to stretch you. Now, don't take it the wrong way, right? But this is all coming from, and I'm going to try just to get back into the flow of the message that I was already getting. But I said I feel like I need to share this with somebody else. So pardon me if it's a little bit messy, but I've been going through, I'm gonna call it a season where I almost feel like I've put myself into what I would deem a hole, like getting myself to rock bottom, but at the same time intuitively and emotionally still feeling safe and stable somehow. It's kind of like when you get to a point where you don't care anymore and it's just like it is what it is and I can't change anything. I feel like that's where I've been, especially in my finances. And for the month of June, and this might relate to people, especially if you are in the space where you're feeling called that you don't want to work anymore, you're feeling called to take breaks, a good vacation. It's like, that doesn't make any sense. Look at this economy, right? And so I feel the same way. So I guess I will just open up and say as much as I'm being led to say. But for the month of June, and right now it is July 3rd, for the month of June, I felt extremely unmotivated to put in any type of work to make money. And in my mind, it felt crazy, right? You know how your mind be like, why are you doing this? You know this is unsafe. You need a backup plan. You need a safety net. But at the same time, my spirit was just like super calm. Nervous system calm. I felt like, nope, nothing to worry about. Nothing to worry about. And if you know me, that is not who I am. That's not how I operate at all. My mind definitely overrides and I get very anxious. But this whole month, I've just been like, I don't really care. Somehow something's going to pop off. Something's going to go right. It's all going to work out for me, right? And I get to this point right here where rent is due. And crazily enough, I'm still looking around like, where is the breakthrough? Where's the financial breakthrough? And I'm realizing that, yes, it's a test of faith, but it's also a lesson, and a lesson that I've learned personally that maybe is going to be a testimony for you as you are in your own life. I don't know, but I just feel like I had to share it. That it wasn't necessarily about testing God or testing the faith or, trusting that, God's going to come through and pay my bills. But it was more of getting to a place that I felt like was my rock bottom and still feeling safe, and then knowing how that changes me, knowing how it changes you to go and experience and have to accept what you feel like is the worst case scenario. And so everybody's worst case scenario can be very different. I feel like mine is probably not as bad as some other people's, but it's, that's not to compare anybody, but, somebody's rock bottom worst case scenario could be, I only have a couple dollars left and I have to put my rent and my bills on the credit card or else I will be evicted. Somebody else's might be, depending on, where their high point is, it might look very different. It might look like a lot more, it might be, only one of my businesses is making money, not all five, but neither here nor there, because everybody has their own set point and what they deem is their lowest. And so I say all that to say, I felt like I had to experience what I felt like my fear was, my fear of being behind, of feeling like I have to catch up. Because I remember before having the break, the feeling of being on the hamster wheel, and I was super exhausted and tired of working just to pay bills. But then I feel like I was put in this place where it's like, you never had to feel like that in the first place. You felt like that because by you, I mean me, because I was afraid of experiencing what I deemed as my rock bottom. And so in order to keep from feeling that, to be behind, and to have to put things on the credit and to be in a hole was scary to me, and it caused more anxiety. So I'm trying to get back to the point, honestly. What did I call this? You're being stretched. So now that I feel like I've experienced it, now I know going forward that no matter what happens, because now that I've experienced or learned about myself that, hey, no matter what my finances are doing, for some reason, I still know how to find my calm and stability. I still have my nervous system in check. Like, this was a lesson on nervous system regulation. And I didn't really feel like I had a choice in this. Like, no, it feels like God said, I need you to experience what it feels like to only have your joy, only have your peace, only have your good energy and good vibes, only have the good music that you can dance to, in the shower, and only have the good songs, and not be dependent on your finances to not even sway you. But I don't want you to be worried about that. And so, when things go so wrong for people, they're just like, you know what, screw it. There's nothing I can do, and I'm still fine. And like people who are at their lowest, but they still have a smile on their face, it's like I had to get there. I had to experience that. And so now going forward, no matter what happens, because I know I'm not going to be here for long, and I'm telling you, you're not going to be at rock bottom for long. But when you're up and your new set point is super high, and now you're making $10,000, $50,000 a month, you will never, and suddenly that dips, and it dips down to your new low, you're not going to crash out. At least I hope not. It's like, well, God, that could be my next test. See if I'm going to crash out going from $50,000 a month to $10,000. Please test me on that. But, oh man, it's like, if I can get through this, I can get through anything. And I think that's the real thing. And if I can stretch you at your lowest, and you know what you can handle, and you know that you can make it through the low, you can make it through the valley, you can make it out of the worst case scenario, and you can accept it, and you see what kind of character you have, and you see how you made it through. No matter what happens in the future, you know who you are now. You have that proof. Okay. Well, this new thing, this new high or whatever in the future will never be as bad as that time I experienced that. So I'm still good. I don't know if that's the right way to think. But that stretching that I've just went through, or I'm going through right now, where it's like, things are not looking good with the eye, but I still feel pretty good. Or like, I think this is the worst case scenario, but I still find a way out. I still find a new option. I still turn the page. I still open my eyes and say, hey God, what is it that you're asking me to do? What do you want me to do, instead of giving in? Instead of like, my hands are up in the air. There's no other option for me. I'm just going to have to let life happen to me. No. Because you keep your good spirits, you keep your good vibes, and then you prove to yourself that, oh no, I can find a way out. I'll find a way. There's other options for me. I don't have to accept this reality. And so you prove that you have the skills, you have the tools, you have the nervous system, you can stay stable. So when the economy is up and down and there's things you can't control, you still find it in your heart to stay stable. When your own businesses are going up and down, even if you're in a better position in the future, you'll be able to stay stable because you know that your source is God. You know that your internal vibration matters more than the finances, than the material things. And so you stop allowing the external to sway you. That's tough. It's easier said than done until you experience it, which is why I'm sitting here super thankful that I've even been through it. I'm thankful that I've allowed myself to question, like, is this a smart thing? Am I doing this wrong? But my intuition and my soul says, yeah, you're still going to be fine. Even if it doesn't look, the way out doesn't look like you want it to look. And that's something you really don't want to do. You really don't want to have to go that route. But then you get there and it's like, okay, well, I don't want to go this route, but I'm going to let go of my pride and say, I'm just going to take this route. And then see, it's not so bad. It's not so bad. I don't know what song that is. This is not so bad. and I actually don't care that bad, and my pride isn't broken that bad, and the way it looks to other people, I'm not that embarrassed. And like, well, if I can make it through this, I know I'm gonna bounce back. I'm already allowing myself to see new paths and new avenues out. I'm already allowing myself to see what I wasn't seeing before. When I was in that cycle, on that hamster wheel of, I gotta make sure that I stay on top of my bills so I don't, but I hate this rat race, and just how limited my vision was, because I felt like there's only one way I could pay my bills. But now being at this point, it's like, well, no, I can do this and that and this and that. Actually, I might like doing this better. Oh, you see, maybe this other thing is a better option for me that I would not have even seen before. So I don't know who this is for, and it might not be for nobody but me. I know this sounds very different from my other videos, and I'm being led sometimes to just, speak because it's in my heart, and I know somebody else needs to hear it. If you're still here rocking with me, let me know down in the comments if you care to share. I'm getting more confident in just, coming on the mic. Sometimes I'm a little bit anxious with my public speaking skills, even though I'm by myself speaking into a microphone still, nevertheless. Being stretched. You don't know how far you can go. You don't know how wide you can be stretched. But, they say God knows how much you can bear. And it's like, dang, why do you want me to bear so much? It's like, I want you to prove it to yourself. I need you to show yourself that you got it, that you got what it takes. And if you can experience and accept this thing that you feel like is the worst, then you're equipped with all the tools to make it in the future. For everything. And I'm not saying like, oh, you should always be prepared for the worst, but I'm saying though, when things start to look a little funny, you can always say no, but I know my intuition never steered me wrong. I know I have the skills that I gained at rock bottom, and it's going to carry me through. I had to be stretched in this moment or in the past so it can carry me far beyond what I know that I'm getting set up for. They say the setback is the setup for the comeback. Kind of the same thing. But it's more about your internal knowledge, your internal nervous system, your internal thoughts, your feelings, your beliefs. How often do you let your mind trick you? How often do you get in a anxious tizzy? Are you like using that? Where you're just falling apart and doing all that, or did you learn how to collect your thoughts, come back to center, ask spirit for help, ask for guidance, look at your options, calm yourself down, ask your friends for advice. Like what tools did you gain? What did you do? What did you learn how to do? You're proving to yourself in this stretching that you can handle anything. And so now I know that if I can get through this, no matter what happens in the future with the finances, I can get through it. And I don't know why this is coming to mind, but maybe for some of you it's love or relationships where you've been through the worst relationship, you've been through the worst betrayal, you've been through the worst heartbreak. And if I made it through those things and I've healed myself and I know what to look for now when I'm interacting with a narcissist. I know how to respond now when somebody's ghosting me. I know how to move now. I can see the red flags now, right? And you're like, well, why did I have to go through that? It's like you had to go through it so you know now, so you'll know better, so you can look back at your old notes. It's like, why do you get tested in school? You know how it's like, when you fail a test, you learn more from failing than you do from succeeding? Ooh. And in the moment, it kind of hurts. But in hindsight, it's like, oh, yeah, I needed to learn that lesson. And that's something I'll never forget. Oh, I know exactly how to solve that problem now because I got it wrong on the test. And then I got it wrong again. And then I got it wrong one more time. But now I know exactly how to solve that problem front, ways, backwards, side to side, all up and down it. And you can never trick me again. So the next time I come against this problem, oh, baby, I'm the teacher now. Oh, I'm the teacher now. Oh, the student becomes a teacher after some stretching. Man, y'all ain't hearing me. Y'all ain't hearing me. I feel like I'm preaching. That's not even what this channel is. But if you're still listening, if you're still listening, I hope you got something from it. I think I got it all out of my system. And I just sit here in gratitude because, like, I guess my higher self knows, like, oh, you'll enjoy this lesson. It's not going to feel good in the moment, but you're going to feel so confident once you make it through. You're going to be so unstoppable once you make it through. You're going to be so much more bold once you make it through. Oh, you made it through that? Oh, now I'm ready to put my toe in some other waters. I'm ready to fail in some other regions because I know that failure ain't gonna be nothing. It's gonna be another learning lesson. It's gonna get me up higher. It's gonna get me to where I want to go. So, oh man, the amount of confidence I've gained in my ability to listen to my intuition, to find a different way, to maybe accept things I didn't want to accept, to not be so stubborn, was well needed, well worth it, even as far as like letting myself relax and not feeling like being so fearful of the worst case that I put myself into a unhealthy mental situation where I don't know. Let me not go too far. I think I'm gonna leave it right there.